Already ready?
Right, do I want bookshelf? Right. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna have a Q&A. So I'm super excited. I love these Q&As, mostly because I feel like TPT can be a really lonely thing if you let it. I personally don't know anybody in like real life who sells on Teachers Pay Teachers or has an online business or does really anything online. So it's very different to me. And so I like to be able to talk to you about it. I seriously could talk business all day. And I assume that some of you are in the same boat. So being able to like ask someone a question is just like golden. So today I'm going to answer some questions from YouTube and some questions from Instagram. Before we get started, I do want to address a couple questions I got about my new course. So if you haven't heard, I just started a new course that is for brand new TPT sellers. So I've gotten some questions about like what's included and all those kind of things. So the course is for brand new sellers. So either I just opened my shop and I'm super overwhelmed, or I want to open my shop but I don't know where to start. It's kind of like the two ends where you would want to do it. If you have been on TPT for a while, I would not suggest it because it's not going to help for you. I will have something coming soon, I promise. So stay tuned, but I do want to throw that out there just in case you were thinking about it, but on the fence, on the question route. A lot of you have been going to Instagram and finding me on Instagram, which is super awesome, sending me all your questions, which I love because again, I could talk business all day long. But what ended up happening is I kind of had like the music people, and then I had like the TPT people, and the TPT people didn't really care about the music stuff, and the music people didn't really care about the TPT stuff. So to fix that, I opened up a new Instagram account where I'm going to talk more about like Teachers Pay Teachers. It's going to be linked to this YouTube channel. This YouTube channel is quickly turning into TPT stuff more than really anything else, which is fine. If that's what y'all want to hear about, that's what we can talk about. And yeah, so I'll leave a link to my new Instagram down below. I am trying to get people over there so that we have some community. We already had some really great conversations going on. I also joined Twitter, which kind of makes me die a little inside. Nothing against Twitter. I had a boyfriend in like end of high school, beginning of college that was obsessed with Twitter. That boy would tweet all the time about things I didn't care about. So I would like try to be on Twitter because he was on Twitter, but none of my friends were on Twitter, and it was just drove me nuts. So every time I think of Twitter, I think of him, but I'm trying to overcome that so that we can talk. So I'll leave my Twitter handle, username, I don't know, I'll leave whatever that is down below. If you ever need like anything, I link everything in the world in the description box. I have whipped coffee. I talked about it in my most recent vlog. If you have been living under a rock or you don't know, whipped coffee is equal parts sugar, instant coffee, and hot water, and you whip it. I use like a little egg beater thing. I'll link one on Amazon down below because they're super cool. You can also do, I've seen people do it with forks or with whisks, which is just way too much effort. And then also I've seen like electric ones, which would be great if you were making it for like a bunch of people. So I do 2 tablespoons of each, and then you pour it with milk. It's quite good. Anyway, questions. All right. I did not prepare these ahead of time, so this should be interesting. First one, and if you saw my last one, you know I don't actually try to say anybody's names or handles because I just find it obnoxious when YouTubers spend like 20 years trying to figure them out. So first one, I know you use Canva. How do you credit them in your products? Also, many products have now added digital products to some of their, I think that's supposed to be stores, to some of their current products. When uploading, do you upload in 2 places when you set it up in the store, or in only one place? Can you show us how and where to upload the added digital resource? Okay, so how do I credit Canva? The short answer is I actually don't. I read on their website, I could be wrong, but I believe I read on their website that you don't have to credit them. If you would like to, one thing that I do, I have like a font that I use that's from a non-TPT person who doesn't have you know, like a button or anything like that, and I'm legally allowed to use it. He says that on his website, but since I can't credit him that way, I just type out the name of the font by and the name of the guy. So that's how I would do it. If you want to credit them, you could say, you know, thanks Canva, or like template from Canva. I only use Canva for my thumbnails, so I'm not quite as worried about it, but they do say you don't have to credit them and you're welcome to use them in your commercial products. For the second question, all about uploading digital products, I'm gonna do a whole video on that soon because I've gotten a lot of questions about them recently. But basically, if it is a digital product, I upload it as a digital product. If it's not a digital product, then I upload it as not a digital product. So it just depends on if you're doing like two of the same thing or if they're different. Usually if I have two that are like similar, they're different. Does that make any sense? I don't know. It's better with my hair this way. Oh, I missed a spot. Gracious. Okay. Are you doing more TPT reviews? Yes, I am planning to do one in July. What are your goals for the summer, and are you working on more courses? Oh, thanks, Nancy. All right, so my goals for the summer have quickly changed. My original intention was that I just wanted to finish my product lines because I'm really bad about making like the part that I need for my kids and not actually finishing my products. And so I have like a humongous folder full of things where I have like, you know, 3 slides or like 1 worksheet, and I need to beef them up so I can post them. And then I was gonna do a new decor pack, which I'm still planning to do both those things. But then I decided, hey, I should make a course. So I just launched my course June 1st. I just like it being on the 1st. And I got that done, and then immediately my brain was like, well, what am I gonna do next? What am I gonna do next? So I finally came up with a few ideas, and as I kind of like hashed them out and outlined what it would be, I settled on one. So I will be making another course. I am working on it right now, and it's gonna be awesome. I'm so excited for it. So I can't wait to tell you all about it. It will be for people who are not brand new sellers. So it's gonna talk a lot about building your audience and email lists, because you always ask me about email lists, and motivation and getting strategic and how to like make more money without killing yourself. So it's gonna be awesome. I'm also going to offer an ebook for it. So if you don't want to buy the course, you can buy the ebook, or you can do both, or yeah. So keep your eyes out for that. Thanks, Nancy. Love an opportunity to talk about my stuff without actually doing it. Is it best to use a different email for the PayPal account? I have my regular personal one, but wondering if I should have it a separate one. So that depends. If you are giving people your PayPal address for like a service that you're doing, if you're doing like coaching or something like that, which is also something I would love to do, by the way, in the future. So if you're interested in that, let me know. But if you are like giving your email to someone and then you want it to be something professional, so I have like, my email is beccasmusicroom@gmail.com. If you are just using it with TPT, then it doesn't really matter, because I don't think the TPT people are gonna like judge you for your PayPal email address. Hi Becca, I'm about to open my blog. Can you give us some tips? Yes, I have lots of videos about blogging, so I can put those down below. And if you have specific questions, I am totally willing to do more blog videos. I did a bunch last year that did okay, but they didn't do super well, and I've gotten a lot of questions about blogging recently. So next one, what's the hype with boom cards and task cards? Oh my gosh, boom cards are amazing. That's the hype. They're amazing. So if you have never heard of boom, it is a set of cards that kind of look like a slideshow, but it's like game looking stuff. So you can have where kids like click on the right answer, or they drag and drop things, and it's just a really good interactive digital way to interact with your kids and make sure they're actually learning stuff. So I have been all about boom learning since I learned about it. Thanks Caleb, by the way. And it's so much fun. And like anytime I post a video to like my stories, people are like, how did you do that in Google Slides? I'm like, it's not in Google Slides, that's how. So it is hosted on boomlearning.com. I'll leave a link for it down below, and I'll pop up like a screenshot here so you can kind of see what it looks like. So much fun, so much fun. How many products were I think that's, did you have in August 2019 when your store did really well for back to school? Well, first off, thanks Emily for thinking that my store did really well for back to school. Secondly, I don't know off the top of my head, so I will insert it here. When I save my work as a JPEG or PNG file and go to reinsert it into a slide, they're super fuzzy and pixelated. Any advice on how to get a clear image? So I do not know the answer to that. However, I've been talking about it with somebody on Instagram because she had that problem, and I was like, sorry, mine doesn't do that, I don't know. And so she figured it out and answered me, and she created a video. I'm just starting TPT. Awesome. Uploaded my first paid product, so your information is very helpful. Thanks. Are you going to continue making digital products in case the second wave comes, or are you going to wait? I don't know. So I firmly believe that digital is here to stay. It was already getting bigger before all this craziness, and because of the craziness, a lot of us, myself included, were forced to figure out digital learning when in the past we haven't, because you know, it just takes time to learn new things. And so that is one advantage of all this crazy distance learning thing, is that we've been forced to figure out how to do it digitally. And so I think that's definitely going to continue, because now people know how to use Google Classroom, they know how to use Google Slides, they know how to do these things. It's gonna be a lot easier. So I see digital staying. I am not currently making a bunch of digital products, because again, my focus was, let me finish up some product lines, let me make some new decor things, and then I have like the courses. So over the summer, I'm not planning to really make any. I have a couple ideas for some that I would like to do maybe in the future, but I'm kind of waiting and seeing is really what it comes down to. I love your videos, you're doing an awesome job. Thanks. I believe you mentioned boom cards. What are they? Are they the same as task cards? How to use them? Maybe you could make a video. Already addressed that. Yes, I am going to make a video all about them, so I wanted to make sure I knew how to do it really well before I did that. Also, any advice do you have for people nervous to jump into TPT? Just do it. Just do it. Just go for it. So I tend to be the kind of person that's just like totally fine jumping into things head first when I have no idea what I'm doing. I realize not everybody is like that, but if you are on the fence about it, my best advice is just to go for it, because you know, a year from now you can either look back and say, oh, I wish I had started my TPT shop sooner, or you know, oh, I'm still wishing that I started my TPT shop. But you're not gonna look back and be like, oh, I can't believe I started my TPT shop last year. Like, no, you're not gonna do that. So I would say go ahead and start, even if you're scared, even if you don't know exactly what to do. Buy my course and just go for it. And the more you go for it, the better it'll be. And you're not gonna regret starting. You're gonna regret that you didn't start sooner. Can you do an updated sales report for recent months? Yes, I'm planning to do one for July. So I have done in the past like income reports, and originally I did like the first 6 months and then like the second 6 months to like a full year. And now what I'm gonna do instead of that, because it's like in September that's a year, I'm gonna do like January to June and then July to December. So I'll do them like twice a year is kind of my plan, at least for the time being. And so I will have one in July once June is over, you know, because I'm gonna make so much money in June. And then in addition to that, I'm gonna do like things I learned in my second year of TPT, whenever that second year is, whenever that year anniversary is. I think it's like September, October? September. I made a whole $7 my first month. Can't believe I forgot that. Right there with you on trying to hit that 2K mark. You can do it. We're gonna do it when school gets back in. Awesome advice about making resources based around books. We'll definitely be using that as I make new products. Question for next video: how important are reviews on TPT, and what increases the likelihood of receiving them aside from making great resources? I haven't looked at any like data or studied like how reviews affect TPT. I have talked to some people that I know in person informally and just kind of asked them like what they look at, and from what I've gathered, most people tend to actually look at like everything. I don't really look that hard. I usually look at the description and that's pretty much it. And then in the preview, if there's one there. Obviously, if you have like a 1 star, that's probably not gonna reflect super well. So you do want more reviews, but I don't think that people are gonna be like, oh, I'm not gonna buy this because there's no review on it. So take that for what it is. I don't really know the answer. To encourage people to do reviews, the best thing I could say, since we don't know, you know, well, actually, technically we do know exactly who bought all of our things, but it would be creepy if we like sent them a letter. So instead, on like wherever you connect with your audience, whether that's social media or like email list or whatever, I would suggest letting them know that if they leave reviews for your paid products, they get TPT credits. You might not know that either, because I didn't know that until I became a seller. But if you leave reviews on paid products, then you get like credits. And so it's like literally money in the bank. So especially right before a sale, tell people that. So I go through and I'll just like put reviews on all of the things that I've bought in the last couple of months, and then it'll save me a couple bucks. And so sometimes I get like a free resource out of it. So that's my best advice for getting reviews. Will you be making a part 2 of your Google Slides video? Yes, it's coming very soon. I don't know if you know this, I plan out my content like way ahead of time. So sometimes when you ask for something, I hear it. I just don't get it done yet. I created a game like yours, but with a different theme. Should I do one for Google Slides and one in PowerPoint, or just in slides? This is time consuming. Yes, it is time consuming. That's why people are willing to pay money for it, because it takes forever. And when you get like, you know, $3, $4 for it, it's kind of like, oh, I spent a lot of money. I spent a lot of time on that. Very time consuming. I typically just do one in Google Slides. You could totally put one in PowerPoint as well. I mean, because if you do it in Google Slides, it wouldn't take that much effort in PowerPoint, but would totally just depend on what you want to do. I don't, because I figure if you want digital, then most people are looking at Google for digital. Okay, so last question I'm gonna do for today. Love your YouTube videos on money in the first year of TPT. How has it looked in year 2? So again, I'm gonna do a whole video about this next month, but just as a preview, it has looked pretty stinking good. So from like last school year, started off really well, better than I expected, went pretty solid. I'm teetering on that, like I was almost to 2,000 when the whole distance learning thing happened, and my sales went to like 0, which was super stressful. If you want to hear more about that, you can I'll link below the video where I talked about how I turned my store around in 2020. So then it was like 1,000 the last couple of months, and now it's June, so like nothing pretty much. But you know, it's seasonal work. So, oh, I do have one question. Somebody DM'd me this one, so it wasn't intended for the video, but I do want to answer it. Someone asked, how do you keep your motivation up when you are not selling anything because it's June and, you know, life? So my best answer to that is to focus on your projects and like creating things. So if I sit around and I'm like, I'm not making any money, it's gonna stress me out. But if I instead of looking at, you know, oh, I made this much money today as my mark of having a good day, if I look at it as like, oh, I made, you know, 2 products today, so that's a pretty good day. So just focus on your next projects and like what's gonna get you excited about your business. So like for me, I was like, new course, I'm so excited. So that'll happen soon. Yeah, so just find something. So focus on product creation. Don't look at the sales page because it's just gonna make you sad. And just find something to do that is related to your business that makes you excited. So whether that's making products, whether that's making videos, whether that's blogging, whatever, do it. I always make coffee for these videos, and then I never actually like have time to drink it. Anyway, so I will link everything in the description. By the way, anytime you want any links, they're always in the description. I have so many links in the description. It's like literally anything you ever could possibly need, just look in there. And if it's not there, leave a comment and I will add it to it. So thanks so much for watching. I hope that answered some of your questions. I hope you were featured in that. If not, then hopefully you'll catch the next one. My plan is to do one kind of like each quarter. So I did one in, I think it was like February or March, and so now I have one up in June. So the next one will be like September, October-ish, sometime in the fall. Oh, that's terrifying to think about. Is anyone else like super stressed about next school year? Because I'm trying to be like all zen and calm about it, but I'm like really freaking out. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Leave any additional questions you have down below, and I'll see you next time. Have a wonderful, wonderful week.